Everything began when I discovered an old phone at a rummage sale. I jumped at the chance to get a flip phone for a few dollars since I couldn't help but feel nostalgic. I had no idea, though, that this phone would give me nightmares. Everything initially appeared to be normal. I used the phone's basic camera to take some adorable images in addition to making calls and sending texts. But after that, odd events started to occur. When I answered calls from numbers I didn't recognize, there would be complete quiet on the other end. Sometimes my texts would go to the wrong recipients, and other times they would never go out at all. Additionally, the photos I shot with my phone were consistently distorted and scary, like they were taken from a horror film. I dismissed it as a minor issue with the previous phone, but things continued to deteriorate. On my phone, I started getting weird texts that appeared to be from the dead. The messages were from long-dead friends and family members, and they were all filled with terrible warnings concerning the phone. They advised me to get rid of it as soon as possible. The messages and the odd occurrences continued despite my efforts to ignore them. Randomly in the middle of the night, my phone would ring, and when I picked it up, I could hear someone sobbing on the other end. I used to wake up in a chilly sweat and felt like someone was blowing cold air in my face. The battery of the phone would quickly run out, and it would become uncomfortable to hold. I kept having the sensation that there was a problem with this phone. One night, I finally lost my patience. I made the decision to look into the phone more. I probed further in an effort to identify the origin of the odd messages and images. On the phone, I found a file that I couldn't access. No matter how hard I tried, I was unable to unlock it because it was password locked. That is when everything started to go bad. Strange dreams and hallucinations began to occur to me. Everywhere I walked, I saw the ghost representations of my departed family members, and they all shared a trait in common: they were all clutching the wretched phone. I was unable to understand what they were attempting to communicate to me. The file on the phone was finally unlocked for me one night after I successfully cracked the password. There was a video within. The woman in the video was sobbing and pleading for assistance. That identical phone was in her hand as she was imprisoned in the room. The video was recorded a few days before I discovered the phone at the garage sale, and it was obvious that she was the last one to use it before me. I could not help but feel a sensation of fear come over me as I watched the movie. The woman in the video could be heard repeatedly saying, "Get rid of the phone, before it's too late," which indicated that she was visibly afraid. I had no choice but to get rid of the phone. I couldn't let anyone else go through what I did. I threw away the phone and never looked back. But I can't get away from the feeling that the phone is still out there, waiting for its next victim. I assumed I was safe, but the nightmares continued. My loved ones' ghostly figures haunted me, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something was still watching me. I began to suspect that I was being watched and couldn't shake the feeling. My friends and family began to notice the difference in me and became concerned. They could see I wasn't sleeping well and was constantly tense. I refused to talk about what had happened despite their best efforts to persuade me to consult a therapist. I made the choice to go for a walk one evening to get my bearings. I spent hours walking while attempting to make sense of all that had transpired. I became aware of my phone vibrating in my pocket as I was moving. To my surprise, when I pulled it out, I saw that it was the exact phone I had thrown away. I couldn't believe it. I had thrown it away, but now it was back in my possession. I tried to turn it off, but the phone would not turn off. Suddenly, the screen began to flicker, and I could see the ghostly figure of the woman from the video. She was reaching out to me, her face contorted in terror. She said, "Get rid of the phone," and the screen went black. At that point, I realized I had to destroy the phone. I had to stop before it hurt someone else. I grabbed a hammer from the garage and shattered the phone to bits. I felt a wave of relief as I observed the plastic and metal fragments strewn across the floor. However, even now, I can't get rid of the impression that the phone is still active and looking for its next prey. Even though I destroyed the actual phone, I can't get rid of the memories of it. I can't help but worry whether there are any additional evil phones lurking there, just waiting for unwary victims to discover them. My friends and family could tell a difference in me from that day forward, and I began to experience calm nights. I rediscovered my enjoyment of life and felt liberated from the phone's curse. But I never forgot that event, and I constantly remind myself to be cautious about the things I buy and bring into my life.